We are following breaking news in what is being called one of the worst tragedies in Switzerland's history. A fire commander says they're still trying to confirm casualties, but that around 40 people are dead, 115 or so injured from a fire at a New Year's celebration last night in the Swiss Alps. Investigators are trying to figure out how the fire started. They still believe the fire caused an explosion, making it spread rapidly. It happened at a popular bar in the luxurious ski resort called Crème Montana. It's 25 miles away from the Matterhorn. Officials say many young people were there to celebrate the new year, packing into a ground floor lounge and speakeasy-style basement bar. The first reports came in around 1:30 in the morning local time there, with smoke and flames soon engulfing the whole building. Firefighters quickly arrived. They were able to put it out, but so many people were hurt that the local hospital hit full capacity. They had to send people elsewhere. NBC News International correspondent Matt Bradley joins us now. Matt, what more are we learning about this fire? We mentioned how quickly it spread and about the victims.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the things you can really tell, Kate, from what you're describing and from some of the reports we're getting from local officials is that the rescue effort was enormous. We heard from the police and from officials in Switzerland that there were 10 helicopters, some 40 ambulances, about 150 rescue workers, again, as you mentioned, flying injured people to hospitals all across the region, including outside of Swiss borders. So we were talking about a massive effort to try to deal with all of the injured. And we are hearing from Swiss authorities saying that they're taking some time to try to reach the family members of some of these international victims. Now, as you mentioned, this is a major ski resort at the height of ski season. So there are quite a few international people who are thought to be among the dead and the injured. So, as you mentioned, we don't exactly know what caused this fire, but one thing that authorities have been very, very certain about is that this wasn't caused by what looks like arson or anything like an explosion. They said that the explosive noise that so many people heard, so many witnesses, comes from just an effect of the fire. When a fire burns so quickly, so hot, it can make a sound like an explosion. So it doesn't sound like this was an attack. It doesn't sound like this was deliberate, but still, the officials and experts who would evaluate that have not been able to get into the actual bar in order to see what went on because it's still so hot.
Yeah, Matt, we've been showing a little bit of video. It's disturbing. It looks like it's people trying to get out, frantically trying to leave the fire, the area where the fire was. I know we're hearing the regional hospital is at capacity. Emergency services were overwhelmed. What are things like now as far as we know?
We don't know exactly. It sounds as though there are still quite a few people who are still in hospital, still convalescing. Most of these people, and we're talking about 115 people who were injured, that number was just revised up in the last hour. Most of those injured, according to officials, were injured seriously. So that's one of the reasons why this is going to be such a problem. And the burn units, and it's not every hospital has a major burn unit, but a lot of these victims were flown to burn units that were nearby. This is a long procedure. So this is going to take quite a while for these patients to convalesce, for these burns to be healed. And I think we're going to be talking about quite a few, at least in the coming days, very, very invasive operations in order to repair some of these terrible wounds.
Yeah, and could be a lot of foreigners who might have been there as well. Matt Bradley, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.